Hello everybody and welcome to the 75th episode of the Pentagon Challenge. The 100th edition of this series is well within reach now, but before we can look to the future, we have to make sure our present is steady and correct. And Colo-Colo, as I mentioned in the last episode, were the team that ended Vasco's hopes of winning the Copa Libertadores last year. And even though the teams met in the group stages, the rules dictated that had to play in the last 16, and the Chileans did better over the two legs. So we have to make sure my approach to Vasco da Gama is superior, and we get the result at the Monumental David Arellano. Just before we can begin that game, I'll just show you very briefly how the Rio State Championship is going. And as you'd expect, we are cruising, absolutely no problems so far, and we're just waiting for the next stage of the tournament to take place. We put 6 goals past Nova Iguacu, but then very importantly we got a win against Fluminense. Alexandre in the first half put us a goal to the good, but then after some pressure eventually we gave way, and Popo managed to secure an 89th minute equaliser. However, straight down the other end, Nildo, the young man who plays on the left hand side, was left unmarked in the box. Daniel Guedes rifled in a cross, and he was there at the far post to absolutely send me into a spiral of joy, just what we needed. And then most recently we demolished Fibreguense, I think that's to pronounce them, Fibreguense, by 7 clear goals. So the Rio State Championship is one of the easiest tournaments you could possibly play in if you're one of the bigger clubs. So we are by far and away the team that's going to win that group stage, but there's plenty more to go, and I'm sure Vasco fans know that already. The hard work is only just beginning, but we have a remarkable record: 30 goals scored and 3 conceded, compared to last year 29 goals scored, 4 conceded in 8 games, so that's excellent. Flamengo can't compare to us, but some of the smaller teams could yet qualify, like Resende, Cabo Friense, still available for them. And then very competitive Group A with 4 teams able to play in the victorious playoff. I don't know what the name is officially, but we'll never mind that. So that's all I need to tell you about the Rio State Championship. Players are scoring goals for fun, and we're absolutely buzzing, but this is where it really counts. Colo-Colo are an excellent team. They lost on the opening day of the Copa, but that doesn't mean they'll be giving up anytime soon. They got a poor result here against Santiago. They should be winning that kind of game, but then again Santiago Warriors find themselves on top, so maybe I'm being a bit presumptuous. But one last thing to mention is the success of Argentinos Juniors against the strongest. They ran out by 4 goals to 1. As you can see, so they go top of the group, and that should make them one of the best first place teams in the entire tournament. So yes, indeed, they go top of that section, so we'll have to be very wary and try and knock them down when we meet in the next round. So without further ado, I have my team prepared. We'll go straight into the match, and we'll see if Colo-Colo can give us another good game, or if we can get that revenge for last year's double defeats. So yeah, this is certainly the one I wasn't looking forward to, like Colo-Colo. Are really competitive. They represent Chile very, very well. I'm sure they have some of the hidden talents of the continent, but we'll just need to confirm for ourselves. This is what I've gone with though. We've got Andreini in goal, Daniel Guedes, Adrelison, Sosa and Ivo in defence. Borges gets to play instead of Centurion, who's suspended. Alexandre retains his spot as the advanced playmaker. Barrios, Evander and Gabriel Xavier will be helping out Croatia, I'm certain of that. So the attacking foursome will need to get forward, and their team is lining up with a 4-2-2-2-2. And that could be dangerous in the middle if we're not careful. Let me just see now, what do they have on offer for me? Palacios, not such a good player, but he could still deliver a good goal. Again, not such a good player. So I don't know how these guys, if their star ratings are this low, how on earth did they beat us last season? Well, was that down to the previous manager? We don't know, but either way, we can't possibly take into account how difficult the atmosphere will be at the Monumental. They'll be absolutely gunning for a victory here, and Vasco, our team, they know how to beat. So let's see if we can prove them wrong this year, get the job done. We'll stick to positions just to make sure we don't do anything stupid like we did in the last game. And exactly the team talk I wanted. It is revenge. We need to redeem ourselves for last year. I wasn't here for last year. Doesn't mean I can't tell them off. So let's bring the crowd noise into the stadium and kick off. And Colo-Colo, to confuse matters, even though their crest is very colourful with blue and red, they have come out in a white and black jersey, whereas we're sticking with our traditional black and white. So no goals in 5 minutes this time. We won't have to worry about that, but there's a cutting through ball. No real danger to us there. Borges, Alexandre out to Corecha, scored the hat-trick, or should have scored the hat-trick in the previous game, not to be this time. Oh, good save by their goalkeeper. Here's Barrios out to the far post, no success there. Evander to Alexandre, what a shot that could have been. All he needed was to hit the target. But either way, I'm happy with this start. Diaz is able to clear to an unmarked teammate. Barrios couldn't get there, but Borges can. Barrios feeds Corecha. He has to go alone, and he made the wrong choice shooting from that side of the goal. Definitely one-way traffic so far. Another corner wasted. Gabriel Xavier, one of the top signings I've made so far. Here's Borges, blocked. Again, it's hard to catch some of the names, but we'll be more expressive now. We don't need to worry too much about being rigid. We can go for it now. We're all over these guys. The passing has been poor from both sides, but Borges now gets a yellow card. My throat is a little sore, so I'm hoping to keep it restrained here. But Borges into Guedes, returned to Borges. Barrios, Gabriel Xavier right in the corner, but it was just a little bit too fine. You need more power if you're shooting from that range. I'm going to say get creative. There's a yellow card for Romero. I don't know what the Colo-Colo kits look like. I haven't downloaded the Chilean Premier League kits, and that's shame on me if they do exist and I haven't found them. There's the yellow carded man Romero. Poor pass. Adrelison to Gabriel Xavier. Corecha into Alexandre. Somehow that didn't find the pass. Here we go again. Corecha needs to find Xavier. He goes for Guedes instead. Return 1-2. Keeper makes a strange decision putting it for a corner, but if you're not confident about what you're doing, then you should probably put it out for a touch. That was a foul by Alexandre. Colo-Colo have had nothing to offer, but this might be their chance. And it is Andreini. Good save. Would have hit the crossbar if he reached any higher. Romero gets the ball, cleared by Guedes. Barrios doesn't get there, but Corecha now from Xavier. Oh, good tackle by Retamal. Nicely done by, I presume, their left back. Yellow card for Adrelison. That makes things a little more uncomfortable for me. I don't want to have any more red cards, especially in a must-win game. Palacios. Oh, I thought that was in for a minute. Wow, what an effort. But as things stand, we are comfortable enough in second position, but that doesn't mean we should switch off and assume Colo-Colo are dead and buried just yet. So we're going to possibly mix things up now. We don't want to be long passing it all day, as much as the board seems to have a fetish for it. I just think we can do better. But now, let's be mean. Let's say you need to do better than what I've seen. Like, the defenders have been outstanding, keeping most of the threats away, but you can tell they are hungry for a goal. And luckily, our captain Evander looks motivated and inspired. So do what you got to do, my friend. Lead us to victory in the second half, and a quick kick-off gets us underway. And we'll be considering some substitutions in about 15 minutes time, as I traditionally do. It just seems to be my ideal time to play substitute. Xavier cutting inside. There's Guedes all alone. And Xavier! Oh, that was lovely, but Vargas in goal had that one covered. So I love the fact that the wing-backs get forward. It really adds a dimension to our play. But now that we have dedicated wingers, we have another dimension in our attack. As Ramirez, who seems to be a half-time substitute, yeah, that's got my attention. But I really do like how the wing-backs come forward and the wingers are cutting inside, giving us that extra dimension that was probably missing when we had the 4-2-3-1 with attacking midfielders instead. But that's back. Oh, Ramirez got way behind our defence. Splitting run. He was all alone, but Andreini, who will not be forfeiting his number 1 jersey anytime soon, made that absolutely pivotal save. But now Palacios versus Sosa, and that's another chance. But it's a poor cross in the end. Colo-Colo are ascending, and we're going to respond with a little bit of reserved game. We need to get back, counter-attack, but it looks to be a Colo-Colo resurrection. Manzano to Pochettino. Romero picks up the loose ball. Besa into Manzano. Pochettino, or Pochettino if you want to pronounce it like the Tottenham manager. There's another corner, but I have to say demand more. Andreini though hasn't put a glove wrong. He is looking super secure. Colo-Colo make their second change, and I'm going to respond with 2 of my own. And I don't know who can really replace Borges, but we'll put Alexandre backwards. And how about Marcao? No, he can't really. Well, he can, but I think we'll just let him learn. He'll be a deep-lying playmaker. We don't want him getting too far forward. And alternatively, Evander and Barrios haven't played well, but I'd rather take Barrios off the field, and Francisco Carlos, our youth academy graduate, can take his place. I have a good feeling about him and his future. I just need him to play more often, and he'll be delighted, I'm sure. That's a foul by Manziano. We won't get to see the effects of that free kick, I'm sure. Yeah, that's the highlight gone. We now need to push forward again. We're going to go control. We have not been good in the second half, and that's disappointing. What can we do? Come on, push forward. Let me just check what substitutes they've made. Yeah, they've brought on all 3. Alvarez is the one I'm most interested in. Velasquez will close him down when he gets forward, but Alvarez will be trying to get down against our pacey right back, who is often getting forward. So now I'm not too sure what I can do here. How about Batista? Like, I know Courageous played well. Okay. Yeah, I think Evander will have to take his place on the substitutes bench. We'll leave that as it is. Courageous, shadow striker, please. Batista can be the advance forward, and we might ask Xavier to push up a little bit, see if that makes a difference. But if we need to consult Prozone, then that's something I will do. But let me see what we have in store. A 0-0 draw is not perfect, but it's not the end of the world either. We want to stay in second place, and we want to qualify in the best possible light. Pochettino clears, and there's Xavier on the ball, beating Velasquez to it. Marcao, Carrecha, he's now taking back his spot. Batista goes for the top corner, but it's not going to work. Well, it was a good effort, but let's just see. Let's go. Here we are. Xavier into the 6-yard box. No chance with that one. The keeper was very comfortable with that one. Guedes to Xavier at the far post. Carlos! Yes! That's his first ever goal, and that could be redemption. I had a good feeling about him, and that was justified in just a few minutes of play for him. But Besa puts it over the bar, and we're now going to concentrate. A great result here if we hang on in there. My throat is creaking, but we're just we're battling to survive here. We want to win against Argentinos Juniors to get into that first placed roll of honour and get a good draw in the round of 16. That is the plan. But here's Velasquez trying to put that plan into the bin. He'll want to keep Colo-Colo alive in this tournament. They've got a tough draw themselves. I do sympathise with them. But we have to win the tournament ourselves if we're going to make any progress in the Pentagon Challenge. Guedes takes on Velasquez and wins a corner. Excellent work. And let's see if Xavier can hit this one on his left. It's an indirect free kick for handball. Sosa not so smart there. Good interception, whoever that was. And we're distracted here, but Alvarez has two potential targets in the box, and Andreini gets up to save. It could have been dangerous if he let it go. Carrecha, a diving header as a defensive duty. That is very pleasurable in a way. But here's Batista caught offside. But that could be the final action of the game. Alvarez just needs to get it forward. Palacios, Besa, and that's it. No more can be said. It's Colo-Colo 0, Vasco da Gama 1, and we have a 6-point cushion over the Chileans and the Bolivians now, and we can look straight ahead to a massive game against Argentinos Juniors. And if that goes our way, then it looks like the first portion of this Copa Libertadores will be going precisely our way. But we've seen it before. Switching off can only result in failure, and they have the superior goal difference, putting the 4 past the strongest, whereas we only put 3 past them, and we conceded twice. So not so perfect for our guys, but 6 out of 6 points. It's better than nothing. And that was my 300th game. Oh, excuse me. That was my 300th appearance as a manager throughout the entire series, and that makes me, absolutely, what's the word I'm trying to think of? It just makes me super grateful to be in the position I'm in, managing so many interesting clubs around the world. And we have 300 more games to go. I'm sure we're not winning the 5 tournaments that easily, but a shock here. Sao Paulo again pulled the trigger on their manager. He only lasted 258 days. That is very morbid indeed. Look how quickly they sack managers. Absolutely insane. And of all people, they've got Kaká as a caretaker manager. Maybe he'll get the job permanently, I don't know. But what on earth has happened for them to sack the manager? That's ridiculous. Like, I have no understanding of what they're doing there. The Sao Paulo state is they're top of the league, so I don't know, but I don't really mind as long as Sao Paulo keep doing silly things. Then that'll make us stronger and them weaker. But anyway, that'll conclude this episode. The Argentinos Juniors game that will decide how we are going to approach the rest of the tournament will be away from home at the Diego Maradona Stadium. That could be, that will be the game that decides how this group goes. We could yet turn it around in the home tie, but I want to win in Argentina, get the job done, and whatever happens from there happens. So Diego Maradona is indeed the club legend there. And that's all for today, guys. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'm pretty tired, but the Copa Libertadores, you don't want to miss any more action. It's gonna be a fight from the beginning right until the bitter end. See you very soon, everybody. Bye.